Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the first and probably last video weekly preview ever. We'll see how this works, but I can't imagine this is going to be an ongoing thing. So, last 2 weeks, I went 7-5 with my predictions, bringing me up to 18-18 for the season, which is not terrible, especially considering the horrible start I got into the first few weeks, including a 1 point week, I think in week 2. So, let's see how this week goes. First matchup is 4-2 me against 3-3 Andy. Boston Scott had a big game on Thursday for me. Put up 15 points, which about 9 of those came on the final drive. The rest of my lineup, I have some wide receiver problems. Have to stick with my man Juju, mostly because Justin Jefferson is on his bye week. For Andy, he has Michael Thomas probably coming back. He seems like he tweaked his hamstring after dealing with the ankle injury and also getting in a fight, so he should be back, but you never know with him. Devin Singletary hasn't been very good for the Bills, but he faces the Jets this week, so he should be perfectly fine. And Andy will hopefully rely on that Aaron Rodgers to Robert Tunyon. Rhymes with Funyon, not Tanyan. Tunyon. Hoping rely on that connection to get him a TD or two with that hookup. So I think Andy takes this one. The next matchup is 4-2 Rossley versus 4-2 Ryan, and this is probably the matchup of the week. So just like 3 weeks ago, we would have guessed this was Lamar versus Dak, but now with Dak nursing that broken ankle and Lamar changed his bye week, we now get Baker Mayfield versus Teddy Bridgewater. So ouch. We do still get the two best running backs in the league, Kamara versus Jones, so that's exciting. And honestly, though, whoever does better there could swing this whole matchup. But I think this matchup actually probably comes down to the wide receiver 3 matchup, where you have Christian Kirk versus Keenan Allen. Allen left the game 2 weeks ago with an injury, but the Chargers seem like he's fine, and when he's been playing with Herbert, he's been an absolute target monster, which I expect to pick up again this week. So Ryan gets that call, so I think Ryan pulls out the win. Next matchup is 2-4 Aric versus 3-3 Howard. And my God, is it a travesty that Howard has 3 wins. He started Zach Ertz last night, who is on the IR. And also right now he has a kicker who has COVID in his lineup. But it probably wouldn't have mattered. Howard has no chance anyway. And frankly, Aric, if he has Watson playing the way he's been lately, that makes Aric very scary. So Aric clearly going to win here. This matchup is a 3-3 Malco versus 2-4 Jeff. Brian had Freeman play last night and play terribly. He had 8 rushing yards. Jeff got an okay performance from Evan Engram, including 3 rushing yards, so almost matched Freeman there. I like Jeff's running back combo, the Zeke, Ronald Jones, who needs a new name. It's a good duo. But Malco's wide receivers are just top notch, especially if Hulo returns to anything close to his previous self. Also, Brian is riding Kyler Murray, who is just a terrible quarterback. He went 9 for 24 against a terrible Dallas team last week, but still wound up putting 30 points because he can just pull the ball down and run anytime he wants to. So Brian gets this win. All right, next we have 2-4 Chris against a 4-2 Pete. Chris got a good defensive effort from Philly last night, so he's off to a good start. But looking at his team, Fuller has been very good. Amazingly, he hasn't got injured yet, and he's been very productive. But Cam Newton really has only been good in 1 game. That was in week 2. Besides that, he's, I think, failed to throw a touchdown pass, and while he is running, he hasn't been running a lot lately. So you can't trust that. Pete's back to full strength after a touch stretch of bye weeks last week. So Russell Wilson, all of his Raiders, he should be able to get the win here. The last matchup is 2-4 Will versus 3-3 Joel. So Joel started 3-0, and now he's on a 3-game slide, which basically coincides with Josh Allen coming back down to earth. But luckily for Joel, Allen and Diggs both face the Jets this week, so I imagine they'll have big weeks. Joel is also starting AJ Green and Jerick McKinnon, who are two giant question marks. Like, who knows what you're going to get from AJ Green? He was huge last week. Has done basically nothing besides that the rest of the season. Looking at Will's roster, I actually like a lot of his players, but he just has no standouts. Like, Robbie Anderson could score, but he hasn't scored a TD since week 1. The Steelers seem to like Claypool a lot, but he could also disappear in any game. T. Higgins seems like he's coming along, but you don't want to trust a rookie wide receiver with a rookie quarterback, so I think Joel takes this. Like I said at the beginning, this is probably the only time I'll do this, but sometimes I get sick of writing and maybe I just want to make a video. But let me know what you think. Let me know if you watched it or if you just skipped over it, or let me know your thoughts. All right, see ya. Good luck.